Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Warm Up 244. Michael Fanning here. Such a cool morning with the fog a little bit today. Anyways, today I want to talk about a couple things. I want to talk about a piece out of the book, The Art of Possibility by Ben Zanders. I'm going to talk about something that I read about in the book by Robin Sharma called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. And also in that book, he talks about respecting time. So let's talk about the first one. Rule number 6. So two prime ministers are having a meeting, and they're talking about the affairs of state. And during their meeting, one of the staff members comes running into the meeting, just crazy, hair all crazy and freaking out. And the prime minister says, "Excuse me," to the other prime minister, says, "Hey, Peter, let's remember rule number 6. Peter says, "Oh, forgive me, Prime Minister," and he leaves the room. About 20 minutes later, a woman comes in, same thing, all crazy, frantic, right? Needing to talk to the prime minister, and the prime minister says, "Excuse me," to the other prime minister. He says, "Susie, let's remember rule number 6. She goes, "Oh yes, Prime Minister, I remember that," and she leaves. This even happens one more time, and finally, the other prime minister says, "Forgive me, but this is amazing. You just say rule number 6, and they totally calm down. Can I ask what rule number 6 is?" He says, "Oh, of course." He says, "Rule number 6 is simply this: stop taking yourself so damn seriously." And the prime minister says, "Oh, that's fabulous. So what are the other rules?" He goes, "There aren't any other rules. It's just rule number 6. I want you to ask, in today's climate and what's going on, stop taking yourself so seriously. You know, there are these people that are just, they take themselves so seriously, and everything that happens offends them, and everything that goes on, they have this just visceral reaction to things. Sometimes, guess what? We got to stop taking ourselves so seriously, right? And we got to let things kind of relax, right? Take a step back. Think about the person on the other side, all right? So that's number 1. Number 2, a child brain. Sometimes, and in the book, Robin talks about this, is we have to go back to our child brain. Forgive me for the airplane flying over. And what does that mean to go back to your child brain? Well, he tells a story in his book about a young child who goes out to lunch with his grandpa. And the child's about 7 years old, and they're at this really nice Italian restaurant, and this really amazing warm loaf of bread shows up on the table, right? So the grandfather cuts a slice of bread for his young grandson, and the grandson takes the bread and just eats the middle out of the bread, the good parts, right, and leaves the crust. And the grandpa says, "Peter, why did you not eat the crust?" He says, "Oh, Grandpa, I just ate the good part of the bread," right? And what's amazing is children have this ability to do the things that they find joy and passion in consistently, and they avoid those things that they don't like, right? And then as parents, what we do is we push them and cajole them into doing those other things because we feel they need to experience diversity and push themselves, which I get. But it's sometimes, as we become grown-ups, sometimes we got to say, you know what, I need to go back to my inner child. Which brings me to this point. You know, if you think about how many of us try to do everything, and everything means there's things that we try to do that we don't enjoy. Have you ever sat down just for the day and just mapped out and said, you know, what are the things that I do on a consistent basis that I don't enjoy, but I still do them myself, and I think I can do it, right? And the reason why a lot of us do things that we don't enjoy is because we don't feel anybody else can do it the way we want it done, and we're perfectionists, and we have to do it ourselves. So if you think about respecting your time, if you were to add up those things that you do that you don't enjoy, right, that you don't like doing, how much of your time in the course of 2, 3, 4, 5 years does that take up, where you could be committing that same time to doing the things that you do enjoy doing? And I just made a simple list, right? So here's some things to think about. So for example, how many of you do your own taxes? How many of you do your own home finances, right? As opposed to hiring a financial planner. How many of you do your own house cleaning? How many of you do your own yard maintenance? How many of you do your own auto maintenance? How many of you, are frustrated right now because you wish your home was more organized, yet you won't go hire a home organizer? You think about these types of things, right? And then there's things that we would never think of doing on our own. For example, I'm sure you're not giving replacing cavities on your own, doing, home dentistry. I'm sure you're not doing home medicine. Well, some of you maybe, I don't know. But my point is this, is that if you will stop for a second and say, you know what, I really don't enjoy doing it, and there's somebody out there who is amazing at this that I can hire, and they can do it for me, and then it allows me to put my efforts in doing the things that I truly enjoy, where I have passion, and I find myself hitting another level and succeeding at a higher level. But too many times what we do over the course of a year, 2 years, 3 years, is we waste a lot of time doing these things that we don't enjoy, right? Where we could hire them out. So here's an exercise I want you all to do for this week. I'd love for you just to get out a sheet of paper. I'd love for you to write down, okay, what are the things that I do that I don't enjoy, right? What are some of those things? And we do this in coaching, by the way. You know, somebody says, I hate doing all the paperwork. Great, so you do the paperwork. Why do you do it? I can't stand transaction management. Okay, well, you do it, then why do you do it? Right? Are these things, and then look at that list of the things you don't like doing and say, are these things that I could hire somebody to do for me? And, you know, and then you got to get past that thing in your mind where you look at that as a cost as opposed to an investment, right? When I pay the people to come do my yard, that is not a cost, that is investment. When I pay somebody to clean the house, that is not a cost, that is an investment. And I'm investing in my time. The time that I now have freed up for me to go do the things that I truly enjoy doing. So I want you to think about that in your world. So again, stop taking yourself so damn seriously. Number 2, revisit your child brain and ask, are you doing the things you're passionate about? And number 3, what are those things you're doing today that you don't enjoy doing that you can hire out to a professional that does enjoy doing those things? All right, everybody. Hopefully that helps. Make it a great day. Be awesome and help somebody. Vote. I can't say it loud enough. Vote. Especially you 18 to 29-year-olds. All right. Make it a good day. Bye.